Hello, welcome back to the channel, and what a result that was at Vicarage Road last night. Outstanding from start to finish and culminated with the cherry on top of the cake by Edoardo Bove's goal in the 93rd minute. An iconic moment that I will remember for a very, very long time. And we'll come on to our Italian midfielder a little bit later on in the video. But first and foremost, I do have to touch on that first 45 minutes of football. And when I arrived at Vicarage Road yesterday, as you'll know if you watched my video on Monday evening, I was feeling quite pessimistic, negative. I think I actually predicted a 4 or 5-1 win to Wrexham actually. I just felt they had too much for us, especially given their recent performances as well. I watched both their games against Chelsea and Swansea, and they really impressed me. But they didn't get a sniff yesterday, especially in that first 45 minutes of football. And Watford are so inconsistent this season, and a lot of the points I made in that video still stand. I don't think we will get into the top 6, and I do feel we are still an inconsistent side. But what I will do today is praise a very, very, very good Watford performance. And that first 45 for me, if it wasn't the best this season, it was certainly the best we've seen under Ed Steele so far since he joined the club. Unbelievable stuff, led by a magician in midfield. Georgie Shatfatatse was on another level yesterday. He was finding pockets all over the pitch. It looked like, to me anyway, from watching in the stand, he was almost in this free role. He had free reign as to where he went. And for the first goal as well, we were so good in transition. He picked up the ball from deep, drove down that left-hand side with agility, speed. He looked light on his feet as well, Georgie. And the no-look backheel pass into Bolla, for me, has gone under the radar slightly. Georgie doesn't even look at Mark Bolla. He knows he's going to be there. And what a finish as well from Bolla past Arthur Okonwo in goal. First time on his left foot in front of the family stand. And that set the tempo of the evening very, very nicely. The second was scored by Edu Kayembe. And again, this is a player who we're having lots of discussions about at the moment. It's very well known now around the fan base that his contract is due to expire this summer. And I think a conversation now has to be had around whether we keep him at the club for the foreseeable future. He's really delivering in his performances consistently at the moment. Since the new year, really, I think Edu Kayembe has been playing at quite a decent level, and a very good finish again from him. Not a normal finish for Kayembe. Usually when he scores a goal for Watford, it's a rocket from distance. This time, again, on the transition, Watford broke from deep, drove up the pitch. The ball fell to Kayembe. He took a touch, he set himself, and he curled really nicely into that far corner. And that is how the half ended. Watford continued with that energy throughout. I thought Luka Kiramgard, whilst he didn't score a goal, was very good with the second balls. Iran Kunda as well, utilising his pace and skill down the right-hand side. And we spoke about Georgie Shatfatatse already. So good from him. And for me, by far and away, he was the man of the match yesterday. The midfield was really nice as well. Pierre-Emerick making his first Watford start alongside Imran Louza. And whilst Pierre-Emerick didn't do anything particularly extravagant or flashy, he did the simple job well and didn't really make any major mistakes. Physically, he looks like a real unit. He's got a burst of pace on him as well. And the balls across the floor as well. These short, incisive passes from Pierre-Emerick were a joy to watch, actually, alongside Imran Louza. So I was very pleased at half-time with what I saw. I said to everyone around me, actually, in the stadium, that it was definitely the best 45 I'd seen for a long time at Vicarage Road. The second half, naturally, was going to be a different game. Phil Parkinson would have had a word with his team at half-time. And Wrexham were actually, for I would say 30-35 minutes of that half, the better side. Now, they didn't create huge chances in open play, but what they did was win a lot of set pieces and put Watford under pressure aerially. And this is where I was pleased to have Matty Pollock back in the side. I think Saba Goglachitse has looked a little bit soft in recent weeks, and yesterday was one of his better games, to be fair, so I'll give Saba credit. But Matty Pollock coming back into the 11 was so pleasing for me. It calmed me down in the stands. I knew whatever the issue was, Matty Pollock was going to be there, and he is, for me, a future captain of the club. I think once Loser leaves in the summer, which is a inevitability, Matty will be appointed as the next captain of Watford. He is just so good, and I feel this season actually he's really grown into himself as a player and as a person as well. His personality on the pitch is so dominant. You can hear him from the stands shouting instructions at his teammates as well. So good from Matty Pollock. Really pleased to have him back in the team. What he couldn't do, though, was stop Wrexham scoring from a corner. That's been a real problem area for us for quite a long time now. Long throws, corners, and free kicks from deep have been a major bugbear of mine for quite a while. And Ed still highlighted that when he joined the club. It's clearly something they'll be working on, and hopefully we can nip some of these errors in the bud. But I thought it was a good header by, I think, Cleworth for Wrexham in the end. He got them back into the game, 2-1. They had plenty to play for. They were bombing forward, but what that meant was Watford had a lot more space to play with in behind. Ed still made a couple of good substitutions. Mamadou Doumbia coming on for Nestri Irankunda, and Edoardo Bove coming into midfield as well. And I think the idea was really not necessarily to score the third goal with them substitutions, but more so just to shore us up and put some more bodies centrally, because we were getting counted on quite a lot in the second half. What I wasn't expecting, though, was Bove to score in what was a real iconic moment at Vicarage Road. Where do I start with Bove's goal? It was such good work, actually, by Mamadou Doumbia initially down the right-hand side. He cuts it back across the box. The ball takes a deflection, or I think it's saved, actually, by the Wrexham goalie. It falls into the path of Mark Boller once again. He strikes on his left foot. It rattles off the crossbar, and Bove is there, the right man at the right time, and he sticks it away. A similar finish, actually, if you take your mind back to Toby Adeyemo against Blackpool at Vicarage Road. It did remind me of that moment as well, just because of the pure elation and joy in the stands at Vicarage Road. And I was so pleased for Edoardo on a personal level. There was lots of Roma fans actually in the Graham Taylor stand yesterday from the AS Roma UK fan club. It was great to see lots of them at Vicarage Road, and they got to witness yesterday a real historic moment, actually. And I am going to call it iconic, because to have a player join who's had real issues in the past year and a half with his cardiac arrest, being fitted with a defibrillator, being told he can no longer play in Italy, and then to sign for us, to see him score like he did was, it was a real emotional moment, wasn't it? I'm not going to lie, it was really nice to see, and I felt for his family, for Bove, for the players, the coaching staff, his agent, his girlfriend. I felt for everyone actually involved with Bove's career so far, that the moment in itself was just joyous, is how I would describe it. So it was absolutely unbelievable. And don't take anything away, by the way, from his touch as well. The ball comes off the bar, and the initial touch by Bove sets himself up for that goal. So I've got no words, really. It was so good, and it topped off what was already a very, very good performance and a great evening at Vicarage Road under the lights. Big test to come, of course. Leicester City on Saturday, who are still in a relegation battle, and whilst their form isn't great, they do have real quality players in their squad. That's going to be a difficult test. and that's followed by QPR and Charlton after the international break. If there is any chance at all of us finishing in the top 6, out of them 3 games, I would say you've got to be winning. I would say at this point you have to win all 3, because you're relying now on the teams above us to make mistakes. And Watford, if they are to finish anywhere near the top 6, have to capitalise on that when teams drop points. So look, my points still stand from the video I made on Monday. We are inconsistent. We couldn't beat Sheffield Wednesday, we lost to Stoke, and we beat Wrexham. That is there on paper the definition of an inconsistent team. But what I can't doubt actually is now the players desire and want to win. And hopefully, regardless of what happens, we can have more performances like that between now and the end of the season. I'll leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate your time watching me ramble away. As always, you can follow us across all social platforms. We're here on YouTube, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And I'll see you again very, very soon for our Leicester City match reaction. Can we follow it up with another win? Only time will tell. Bye-bye.